Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Friday Live. Yes, it's the blue screen, but not the blue screen of death. So, uh, as we get going here this morning, if anybody wants to guess where in the world me, the Matinee Modeler, is at, put your guesses in the chat, and we'll see if anybody can guess where I am at. And we'll hang off for a while, uh, and I might even give a hint or three as we go along if nobody can actually guess. Last week, as you all know, I was at uh, Mr. Linton, John Linton, C&EI John's house. Thank you, John, for the audio check. It's always good to know. And no, I'm not at JD's house, but that is coming in future travels. Rest assured, I will get to JD's. I'll get to Robert the Flying Crows. I'll get to Jason's. I am not at the train fix, Floyd, but this trip had when I originally scheduled this trip, I was going to go to Jason's. Jason's work schedule changed. All right. And I ended up having to bring my wife along, which means I had to bring my dog along. So Jason's I had to take off of the itinerary. All right. Dollywood. Good guess, JD. But no. My daughter-in-law went to Dollywood Sunday as my son and I went to, here's a clue, but it's not where I'm at, went to Louisville, as they would say, for the PGA Championship at Valhalla. Will it have a song to give a clue? It might, Andy. It might. But before I go on with that, let's bring my sidekick back up. And you all know where C&EI John is at.
Good morning, all, and I'm here and I'm alive. And
Yes, he
more
is.
more about that later.
Yes, John has some exciting news to share with us, um, uh, and we'll get to that here in a minute. The uh, Jason, as I said, his work schedule changed, so he's working on Fridays again. But he is going to try to join us when he goes on lunch break at 11 o'clock Central Time.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's just a shame you have to work.
yeah,
I don't know how people do it anymore. This working stuff is just not in my vocabulary.
I gave it up. Didn't you? You gave it up too, right?
Oh yeah. I just have work to do around here.
JB wants to know if I'm in Indy. Oh, well, there is a little event going on in Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to live in Danville, Illinois, and I used to and still can get free tickets to the Indy 500.
Yeah.
No, that's not where I'm at, JB. Not where I'm at. Sorry.
And then on a side note, my family was from Danville, Illinois. So,
man, it's crazy, isn't it? It is Friday, Heath, and welcome. That's what we haven't done yet. We haven't done roll call, John. So let's start with that. Heath just joined us. First in, of course, was John. Lee joined us. And JB is here. Mr. Schuylkill River Valley. John number 2 is with us. I already said JB. Hot Dog Andy from across the pond is here. JD, Grandpa Rails, John number 1 from the Fort Worth area, who I eventually, in a not so distant future, will get down to see. Floyd Robbins from Ontario, just a suburb of the U.S. And the Canadians hate that. I know they do. They like their sovereignty. All right. Mm-hmm. And let's see, anybody else other than Heath? Yeah, just Heath. Heath has joined us. All right. Yes. This trip I've been on for 9 days now, I've gotten so far behind on my YouTube viewing. The only time I've been, I'm feeling a little blue today, Heath. It's called Guess Where I'm At Today. All right. And I've given a few hints. We've had a few guesses. No, I am not in Louisville. I'm not in Indianapolis. I'm not in DFW. I'm not in...
not with me.
I'm not with John. When am I visiting Heath in New York City? There's a carload of us planning on going to Amherst in January, and that might involve a detour to stop by and see you, Heath. So we'll have to play that by ear.
Now, don't you have to be illegal to go to New York City now?
Yeah. I got American citizenship. I can't go to New York. Let's stop that right now. No more.
No more. That was my fault.
Dwight has just popped in from my hometown state of Illinois. Yeah, a whole carload. Can you get 4 more into that closet of yours? Just like in America, everybody is welcome. Yeah, I'm all for everybody being welcome. I just want them to play by the rules. So, anyway, let's stop that.
Not go there.
Yeah, everybody has their own opinions, and I definitely have mine. So, anyway, so do I need to give another hint?
Maybe. Yeah.
Give another hint. How about that? Anybody know what that is?
Not me.
See, yeah. We'll let people take a look at that. Does the color blue have anything to do with it? Other than blue skies, nothing but blue skies. I know. Don't quit my day job.
Yes, definitely.
Heath, good guess. Good guess. That's my stomping grounds. But no, I'm not in Heath and Dwight. No, I'm not in Chicago. And that is not a picture of the Chicago skyline.
I did know that was not Chicago.
JD thinks it might be St. Louis. I don't see the arch there.
Yeah, but the picture could have been from a different angle.
Yeah. There's nothing. There's no distinguishing landmarks cut out of that picture. How's that?
That's
and Dwight thinks it might be Seattle. No, there's no Space Needle. Minneapolis. There's no snow on the ground.
And there's no smoke coming up from the different buildings burning.
Yeah, no, don't go there now, John.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's a very odd city with that one tall building. Well, that city is supposed to get another tall building. No, it's not Denver. No mountains in the background. Although you might think, okay, I'm on the mountains looking down into the city, but no, that's not it.
Hmm.
Dodge
Dodge.
City.
Yeah.
No, not Denver. Not Denver.
If
There
you
you go. JB has it. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. I'm home in my garage.
uh,
But I had to play with y'all. So,
yeah.
yeah. It is Oklahoma City. It's not Memphis. There is no pyramid there. And Oklahoma City, in case y'all didn't realize it, uh, all the approvals are done. Finances in order, and they're supposed to start later this summer on building North America's tallest building. So,
Mm.
of all places, Oklahoma City. It's going to be the Legends Tower.
And
And
how many stories is it going to be?
it's going to have 1,000, uh, 900. Is it 1,900? No. 1,907? That's not right. That can't be right. Oh, it's going to be 1,907 feet tall. Okay. Because that was also the year that Oklahoma became a state. Until it gets hit by a tornado. It is being designed to sustain an EF6 tornado. So if they can build skyscrapers in LA, they can build them for earthquakes.
Tornadoes.
They can definitely build them here for a tornado. Structurally, it's not a problem. The hard thing is the glass.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that the wind is a blowing. It is what the wind is a blowing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who is famous for that quote?
Have no idea.
Actually, Heath, Oklahoma City is the third largest city in the United States. For years, until about 1995, it was the largest city in the United States, and it was surpassed by one city, and then surpassed yet again by another city. So don't think it's small, because it's not.
But that's just from land area, correct? Not
Shut up, John.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from land area.
Yeah.
So land mass. Taking the doggy for a comfort break. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Largest by land, not by population. No. And it is a large city. It it's easy to get around. You don't have bulletproof glass windows. Nah, not here. They actually difference between here and most cities is they actually catch the criminals, prosecute, lock their asses up. So, and Oklahoma is like Texas. They've got what's it called?
Open carry.
Yeah, there is open carry, but that's not the point. That's not what I was getting at. They have a crap. I'll think of it later. Yeah, you're semi correct on that, Heath. There is, and there's pros to that. Standard ground. I think most states have standard ground. When you get down to it.
Well,
Um,
except
oh,
in
I
New
know what it
York.
is. They have an express lane for the death penalty. So,
Hmm, that's good too.
hey, Kyle, welcome. Glad you could join us. So I am. You know what I forgot, John? How could you let me forget?
Oh
Yeah,
well,
we're
you
talking
started,
all about it,
but you
and here
played
we go.
blues.
Okay, now we're up to speed.
Yes, but remember you were blue screen, so you couldn't have played that when you
Yeah, I could
usually
have.
do.
Yeah, I
Well,
could
that
have.
would have been a dead
It
giveaway.
would have been a giveaway. Yeah, it
Yeah.
would definitely been a giveaway. Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh, 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 oh.
Morning,
So,
Digger.
hey, Digger, welcome. I was looking at the video you uh, were doing on your skyscraper. That's a cool model, by the way. So
Hmm.
I
Yes,
need
it
about
is.
10 of those. um, anyway, some of the things I wanted to share. I think I already shared this stuff, but I'm going to do it again real quick. While I was at John's, John had given me some of the magnifying headset,
Hmm.
and he found another set of lenses. So while I was at John's house, he gave me that. He gave me another uh, Sawtooth C&EI boxcar. And when I was talking about Sawtooth, it's the logo over here. Okay?
Yeah, and that was right the time when they were starting to merge with Missouri Pacific. So Missouri Pacific had the Sawtooth, so they just encompassed that with the C&EI.
And then he gave me a Burlington gondola
That
or
needs a lot of
gondola.
work.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. And then he'd also given me a C&EI hopper. Hopper.
And those are just they're out of my time period, so I'm not even gonna attempt to have them on there.
That was cool.
Um,
And then, I think I covered all those last week. But one of the things he gave me after last week's broadcast was a dumpster because they didn't have these mechanical dumpsters in the 50s during his era.
hmm.
So, and since I'm late 60s, I can plug it in there somewhere and it'll work out just fine.
And that's what's good about model railroaders. We do send things to each other.
Right.
It's and especially since you were here, I'd been wanting to send those to you, but I was too cheap to have the postage. So figured while you're here, I would yeah, make sure you got it. And I'm sure there's something else over there that I have missed that needs to go, but yeah.
And Floyd, yes, I do have more for a mail call as well. But I'm going to save that because John had some excitement yesterday, that he wants to share with us. So
Yes.
I've got to. Okay. I am going to do that. And then I am going to do that.
Yes, that's in my backyard, I'll say. It's down by my creek. We had a tornado hit on the other side of the hill to the west of my property, and then when it must have receded back into the clouds some because I had straight line winds that knocked down 8 to 10 trees, if not more. I haven't counted all of them yet, but broken branches, broken trees halfway up, but they're all in the same direction. So I only had straight line microburst. And it's not very wide either. The damage is in a 50-foot swat going through my back. And this is a good 1,500 feet from my house. My property's real deep, just not real wide. There's a song about that, but yeah, it took out some of my bigger trees. So I was just getting that area all nice and cleaned up and getting it all mowed. I'd cleaned out my woods in the back so you could actually walk through them. And I've got a lot more work to do. So but we were lucky. We were out of power from like 7 p.m. last night until about 4 a.m. this morning. Cable was out, so luckily the crews worked through the night. My power came on at 4 a.m. My cable was soon after that, and they're still out there working. They're actually still replacing poles, but we do have internet and we do have power, so I'm thankful for that. And that just allows me to buy a new chainsaw. So, you know, anything to spend money, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple weeks ago, I had to buy that was the tree I didn't like that had fallen. That was a huge turkey oak and very pretty, and it was right there. That's on the western side of my property. That's really the first tree that you would come to on my property. It's about 48-inch tree, so my little 16-inch chainsaw won't cut it. So I'll be making a trek to some place that sells Echo because that's all I use, and get me a bigger chainsaw. But yeah, pretty sad. Got more work to do now. A lot more. However, I am going to save that trunk and some of the other bigger trunks. Another friend of mine, Steve, down the road, has a sawmill, so I'm gonna make wood out of that tree. So, but yeah, I hadn't even realized the trees are down until after the storm had passed. I didn't hear any heavy wind. We just had heavy rain, and it was a pretty short-lived rainstorm. Um, didn't hear no train sound, so it definitely wasn't a tornado that hit my property. But as I said, over on the roadway, just on the other side of the hill, the trees are down all different directions, so you know that it was a tornado that hit that. But these are if you look at the center of this picture and look straight out into the distance, that's the line that it took through my woods. So we got some work to do. Steve, if you want to come over again, we can use some chainsaws and cut up some trees. Now I had another friend from Florida was here a week and a half ago, and told him he could always come back. He's over in North Carolina, not even a far drive to get back over here and spend a week cutting up trees with me. I didn't think he liked that idea, but he's another old retired guy too. He just retired here recently from Pinellas County government. He worked for the Parks Department his last 3 years of working. For that, he was my assistant store manager at Home Depot in Pinellas Park, Florida. So, became good friends there, and He stayed over for a while. But
Cool.
everybody's welcome to come and just bring your own chainsaw.
Well,
But
I have the bus has left the area. So.
yeah, but let's see, we're 25 minutes into this, and we haven't talked much trains yet,
No,
other
we
than the
haven't.
one mail call. Do you have any other mail call?
Yeah, hang on a second. I'm
Oh,
dealing with something else in the chat.
uh, but I didn't get much done on my layout this week. I did do a little bit of painting on some of the pink foam. I get tired of seeing that, and I'm doing some rearranging to make it a little bit more efficient than what it has been. Move my printer over to a different area, which I had to order some USB extensions for that. But other than that, other than some painting, I haven't done much. Did a little bit of painting on some of my figures. It There's always figures to paint, right?
All right. So enough of the comments on the situation with Lee. We'll move on. All right. So anyway, so yeah, I do have some more mail call. I was hoping that an item I bought Saturday would get here yesterday, and it was due to be here yesterday, but our illustrious USPS did not deliver it because it was still en route from Chicago. So we'll have it for next week. But I did pick up. Uh, you may recall that as a result of a conversation on Heath's live stream, got a month and a half ago, about using a cow and calf for switching, improving reliability, and the inability to adequately put a keep alive and a sound decoder with speaker inside of one of these SW units. I decided to acquire a cow and calf SW 1500 unit, and I got that. That was covered previously on the live stream. And I started working on the conversion. I still have to get the sound decoder for it, but I needed some plugs. So I got this micro plug set. It may or may not be able to see through the plastic. Okay. And it comes with wire and heat treat tubing and all that. So that I can put the chip, the speaker, and the keep alive in the dummy SW unit. Where there would be plenty of room without a motor and flywheels, etc. And then connect the two utilizing plug. Well, you got to have, and I want to put power pickups in the calf, along with the power pickups from the cow. All right, and so that improves, instead of 2 sets or 4 axles, all of a sudden there's 8 axles of power pickups. Okay? And so there's 2 wires that got to go back and forth. Then there's 2 more for the motor. Then you got a forward and reverse lamp on the cow. All right, so that's three more. So we're already up to seven.
Hmm.
And if I put a speaker in the cab of the cow, all right, now we're up to nine.
Hmm.
I was trying to stay up with the
With the chat,
yeah. What's JD paint?
I think I missed what
Oh,
he's
a bridge.
painting.
3D
Okay.
painted bridge. Okay, now I'm
Oh
up. Now
yeah.
I'm up to now I'm up to snuff. Okay, and William.
JD's grandson William just will graduate in a few days, and then he's going off to the Navy.
He's got a grandson old enough to go to the Navy. Huh.
Guess so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And John's granddaughter just got out of the Navy.
Hmm.
Hell, I don't even have any grandkids yet. You guys have already gotten them into college and Navy, and jeez.
Well, I have one granddaughter, but she's only 8, so they must be old.
So you found a banana, Heath, finally? Not the banana. I take it. One from your shake. Okay. So I need like 9 wires passing back and forth between the two units. So I mean, it's gonna be a fun project.
Now, are you going to leave it KD couplers for connecting the
Yeah,
two, or are you going to have a for a steam engine a connecting rod?
I'm gonna leave the KD couplers,
Okay.
so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, the between 9 wires. If it comes uncoupled, the 9 wires are still gonna hold it in place.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. Yeah. Definitely. That PM 64.
PM
You said
74 or 64. I have a PM 42. I have a BDL 168. I don't know what a PM. It's power management. Is that you put what you put on the end of a bus line? Heath, is that what you're talking about? The little filter things? In answer, if that's it, no, I don't.
Hmm.
I don't know what they are. I haven't had a chance to watch your most recent thing because I was traveling. All right, Williams 17, Kimberly's 13, Jackson 6. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's still older than us.
No, I'm older than JD.
Oh, you're older than JD? Okay.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
year younger than I am.
He just must have started earlier, or his children started earlier.
I have
than
PM
yours did.
42 for block for circuit breakers, Heath, and then each of those 4 blocks go into a block on the BDL 168. So if it's just a power management, I have PM 42s.
Hi.
Hey,
How
hi.
you been? Well, I do have a small mail call myself.
What you got?
Well,
Let me
we
switch.
got
Okay.
I received my
Hey, Joe.
mini prints box of the month, and in this month, something near and dear to my heart is a chicken coop, and
Ah.
and you probably can't see these, but it also came with some chickens, which is blurry and can't really see them. But I a non-train related item was I got 4 new little hens today for my chicken coop area, so that'll go along with what I got outside too. So also in there were 4 of these park style garbage cans. Can never have enough garbage cans. And Mike's sitting, which is Mike from, let me see if I can read this, from Mike's HO Trains. So I do like the mini prints that you actually get people that are scanned instead of buying the packs where they're just all generic people. You have to paint them different to make them look different, or just I've cut off a few arms and repositioned them, things like that. And then there are also, I guess he's had requests for this. This is supposed to be a hobo's couch for out in the woods to have in your hobo camp. Also, there were 3 shipping boxes. Can't see the detail too good on my picture. I'm sorry. Two of this size, and then 1 larger crate. Which I've got a whole bunch of crates, but I can always use more. And the big thing for this month was a speedboat. Now this is set up for the Waterline series, so you can't really put it on your trailer that he printed last month, but I guess you could, and it just
I have to interrupt you for a second.
Go right ahead.
We have another one of our people joining us. There's Lynn.
Good morning, Lynn.
Hi there.
How's it going today?
It's been a morning.
Lynn had a doctor's
hi there, everybody.
this morning.
Hey.
So he was trying to rush through it to get here, and he accomplished it. So,
well,
Lynn, John was in the middle of his mail call. I'm going to drop you make you small, and let John finish up.
I was actually finished. That was my last thing. I hadn't gotten anything else this week.
Okay.
So
back to Lynn.
Back to Lynn. And,
no, and I didn't trim these. I just have them tied up out of the way so that for my visit this morning. Yeah. Had I gone to the right office, I would have been back here at least maybe 45 minutes early.
Don't you hate when that happens? You go to wrong office and have to.
Because I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at my phone, and I'm texting with Steve, and I'm going, what's going on here? I'm supposed to be seen by now. Finally went up, knocked on the door.
And see, Lynn sent me his pictures the right way, John.
I didn't even know I was going to have power to send them any other way, Steve.
And you guys have been getting some weather back there. I mean,
all
the time.
Yeah, I had some damage from some straight line winds, knocked a bunch of my trees down, and over the hill here they had a tornado because there were a whole bunch of trees down all different directions, and that's a hot water heater. It needs to be repaired.
Yeah, came out the other day to go somewhere and took a look at that, and I go, that's not supposed to look like that, is it?
No.
That's Lynn's water heater.
Oh, no. Yeah. And it even looks new.
It's 20 years old.
Well, that's
But
boy,
if you
that's a nice
notice,
condition.
get my finger going the right way. The upper left-hand corner, notice the copper pipe with all the green stuff on it.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Leaking.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I walk by it. It's not hidden or anything, but we just, you don't usually look at it. But it's under warranty. We're just waiting for them to show up with the new one. I thought maybe it was going to be today. I don't know. Don't know when they're coming back. But it's not just the tank they have to replace. California is regulated beyond anybody. Everybody complains about it, but honestly, I think it's for good reason. But the upper corner there, where Steve's been moving the arrow around, there's the pop-off valve, and this was installed long enough ago that the drain just goes into the garage. Now it has to go outside. So when they replace it, they have to also put in a drain for the overflow or pop-off valve, and they have to put a pan or something underneath. Plus that plumber's tape you see going around right above the Retirement Railroad 2.0, that is no longer code. It has to be a different strap, because we do get earthquakes every once in a while, and they don't want those things falling over.
The hot water heaters, hot water heaters, if they're in the garage, have to be lifted up. I think it's 18 inches. So.
Well, it's up off the floor. It's on a platform, but it has to have something. They gave us a whole list of things that we have to do, but hopefully by next week that'll be replaced. Anyways, hey, I had a mail call. There's the other picture. This is what I'm up to, working on all these little buildings, talking with Heath and the Train Freak and Jason Jensen and Daniel Banks and some others for the 2-foot module, 2-foot front to rear, that it'll be HO buildings in front and N scale in the back. And not all HO buildings are the same size. Some seem to be bigger and smaller. So staggering them will give the look that the one in the back is called the House Under Construction N scale. And I had it quite a bit further along. These things are like delicate and really thin stuff they make them out of. And guess what? When you step on them, they disintegrate. They don't just break. They don't collapse.
They don't meet the earthquake code.
No, it's
or the Jolly Lynn giant code.
It's like a little puddle of sawdust. I mean, it totally disintegrated. So this time I purchased a couple of them, and I don't leave anything alone. This is supposed to be even bigger than this, but I've modified it and changed it around. Next is the sidings, and it won't be completely covered because out here in the desert, we get wind all the time. Sand, sun, and everything. The sidings usually are ripped off. The roof will be caved in. It'll be looking more something along this line when I get through. So,
I think that roof needs a little repair, though, on that one. Yeah.
Most of the buildings in the desert do need roof repair. Even ours got repaired not too long ago. So, yep. So,
good.
But I did get a mail call. I got a mail call. If Steve wants to show the next picture. Everybody has their dream locomotive they want, whether it's a cab forward or a big boy or Challenger or whatever. And ever since I got back into model railroading quite some time ago, I always liked the Santa Fe Blue Goose. But if you know, they are not cheap. I don't know if I'm supposed to be giving names or not, but somebody I've been sending a whole bunch of trains to, mostly broken ones. We won't naming classic model.
Trains.
Surprised me with this. We had talked about DCC and so forth. He said that he was pretty sure I knew somebody that could do this. We have somebody in the club, a couple of guys in the club that, but they're not keen on working on steam engines. So I reached out to somebody and shipped this off to somebody that we won't name names, that usually is on this show, that something about freight, that he is going to be adding literally all the bells and whistles, DCC, fancy sound.
Neat.
He even wants to put a firebox in it. That's up to you. Keep Alive would be nice, So maybe next year. That's one of my modules, by the way, that I drag
really
around
good,
to the
man.
train shows and stuff. This was at the last show a couple of weeks ago. So
Very nice.
Hard to see in this picture, but back in there's a bunch of bears, there's a moose, there's all kinds of critters running around in there. But they're just like in the real forest. They don't come out and go, "Hi, I'm your bear."
And Lynn, didn't you showed this modular sometime? I can't remember where I saw it. I can't remember if it was here on Steve's channel or if it was on yours, about all the different critters that were in back of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That and the trees. I see everybody, doing their thing with trees. That there is just about every kind of tree, type of model tree, from Michael's Christmas trees that I sprayed over the white with green, sagebrush up front there. There's bottle brushes. There is store-bought trees. There's dead sticks in there. And a lot of the brush you see around just above the locomotive is literally lichen and sprig of moss and stuff from Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Colorado. So everywhere I go, I'm picking up little stuff like that. So no, there's no Bigfoot, but there's this guy from Canada. I don't know, probably never heard of him. I think his real name is Bernard.
Does like many small things.
Dr. Minnie?
That this guy appears once in a while up in the trees. So, yeah.
Oh, the Headless Horseman?
No. It's Mr. Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a dragon. I can't.
Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nice paint job on him too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I pay attention to what everybody else is doing, and
there's nothing wrong with that. That's why we are on YouTube, to see what other people do and learn.
I don't know if anybody saw it. Yes, Dave from Thunder Mesa over in Jerome, Arizona, did all of his figures for a shootout. He's got a soundtrack and the whole thing. That he's bringing that to California, I think, in next weekend after. There's a guy put on. They're all little. This is too big. Hang
on a second.
Get out of the room.
Hang on.
And I'm riding on the cotton belt railroad line in the pitching, rolling rhythm and noise.
Hey guys.
Hey
Jason. Were your ears burning? We were just giving you some information out on you.
I didn't say anything. I just said free.
Lynn was going over a particular steam engine he sent your way up above there.
I didn't know if I was supposed to even mention it, so I didn't say your name. I just kind of went free.
Hey, Lynn, everyone knows it's going to be me that's going to do the install, so we're all good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, Jason, I do all my own installs. I'm not as good as you, but
it is what it is.
I enjoy it. It's.
Hey, that's all that
matters. I learn something new every time I do it. Because I look back at some of the first installs I did, and it's like, boy, that looks like doo-doo. I'm gonna have to redo that.
I look at some of mine, and there's wires everywhere.
Well,
It-
I
I've
taught.
been doing it for a long time. So
Yeah, I've only been doing it a couple, 3 years, and I even taught Steve how to take out the extra wires on the 8 pin connectors to not have those extra wires laying around.
right.
So I was over at his house one day. I said, "Yeah, you just take a little screwdriver and pry up on this end, and you can pull them straight out, and you can always put them back in if you ever need them." Because I save them all.
Yeah, I don't do that on my customers' locomotives, but I do it on my own.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
but yeah, absolutely. And the shorter you can make the wires, the better. Except for the lighting features and the diesels, you kind of want those to be a little extra lengthy.
So you
So
can lift the body off. Yeah.
yeah, get the shell.
Well,
You
it
need
all
to.
depends. Like Proto 2Ks, typically you the lighting stays on the chassis for most, and it all depends. You want to add a whole bunch of ditch lights and stuff like that. Well, even ditch lights you could stay on the chassis or thing. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, most of the time, and again, you missed earlier. I got a pack of micro plugs so that now I can disconnect. I can use a 3-wire connector and disconnect the lighting on most, front and back and common for most locomotives. So
Right. And that's one of the nice features with like if you use like a decoder buddy from Nick's Trains, is he's got that little light board that you can separate from the main
Right.
board. But when you're doing things such as like ground lights and step lights, that really doesn't help. So some of the, depending on what lighting you're doing on your locomotives will depend on, what's the best route to go.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I will say this, Dave Thurber, Crooked River and Eastern, and Joe Rader sent me a couple of locomotives that were dandies to work on. Dave actually started his. His was a old Bachmann steamer, like from the, I want to say the 80s, maybe the early 90s. And he got into it and was like, I'm in over my head. I'm going to go ahead and send this to you. And then Joe, he popped the shell off of his and was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm sending this to you. So that's typically the installs I get are the ones that are like, yeah, I don't want to mess with this, so I'm going to send it to
Yep.
Oh yeah.
you. But I will say this, if anyone is thinking about sending me brass, I ain't got time for that. I'm so far behind enough as is, I do not have time to work on brass.
Yeah.
Brass are no-nos.
Well, like I have all those Atherin 282s, and to get the shell off of them, you think you're going to break it.
Oh,
They
yeah.
fit so tight, but I have to get the shell off to work inside of them. So I always think I'm gonna break them, but I haven't broke one yet. I'll say not yet.
The hardest install I've ever done was actually an ON30. And for those who don't know what an ON30 is, that's O scale narrow gauge. So it's like running O scale on HO scale track.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an 040 Porter that had a headlight and a cab light. And it had the saddle tank. So on top of the boiler is the saddle water tank. So it did not have a tender. And this gentleman wanted sound in it. And when I took it all apart, that saddle tank was solid metal. There was no open cavity in there. Just getting into it, isolating the motor from the, from the wheel, which are your, your pickups, isolating the headlight and the cab light, And what I ended up having to do was put in a wire harness and put a decoder inside of an ON30 reef that had a sliding window right towards the cab. And so that way his sound could get out without me having to drill holes and through the reefer. And yeah, that was an interesting install. And I told the hobby shop that sent it to me, I said, don't ever send me one of these again, because it literally took me 8 hours to do disassembly, isolation, try to get all the wires ran through it without the wires pinching as I put it back together, or not necessarily pinching, but where the metal, as I put the chassis all back together, it was cutting the insulation off the wire without cutting the wire and causing shorts. So I had to assemble and disassemble that thing like 3 times. And I said, don't ever send me one of these again that's not DCC ready at least. So, Kyle, I do have someone I could recommend you to on the brass Greenbrier. The thing about brass, especially steam, I don't know so much about the diesels, but when it comes to steam locomotives, you know, the locomotive itself picks up one rail and the tender picks up another rail. And the power is transmitted through the drawbar into the motor, like directly into the motor. And most of them doesn't even have headlights or anything like that. So getting in there, getting into the brass and trying to isolate both sides of the wheel so it picks up both the left and the right. Do the same thing on the tender. Add your headlight, isolate the motor from it. It is a very daunting task. And my buddy down in Texas, his company is called Texas Train Works, and it's WORX. And you can find him on YouTube. He does a phenomenal job on custom paints and decaling and things like that. And he does do decoder installs as well, like on brass. And so I'm actually sending him a couple of my brass pieces to do that stuff in, because I don't want to fool with it.
There you go, Kyle.
So Texas Train Works, and tell him that Jason, the train freak, sent you. He's good. He's a good buddy of mine. He actually, yeah. And then for those who remember John Schuylkill, I don't know if he's in the chat or not because I can't see the chat.
He is.
He was. At least he was.
All right. So Schuylkill, for those who know, me and the rest of the Sidetrack Sunday crew did him a custom locomotive. It was a little switcher locomotive, and I did the sound install on it. But the custom paint and decal job and the detailing, like adding the strobe lights, adding the front and rear ditch lights in the housings and making it look like a legit model, that was all done by Texas Train Works. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I have a picture that needs to be shared. So hang on. As many may know, High has been lost his dog, a long time companion, a while back, and has been waiting for puppies. So he sent me some more puppies to look at. All right.
Big.
They're cute.
That's awesome.
There we go. I think they're golden retrievers.
Yes.
So, all right. Anyway, here nor there. Get that back. Switch this over. Ding. There we go.
It's always something. Yeah, High was very depressed when he lost his puppy.
Yeah.
He should be getting this puppy here pretty soon. He gets his pick of one of those, and he should be able to make the pick and bring him home here pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
I know my two dogs, they're getting up in age. And I've got a breed that isn't known for living a long time. Their average lifespan is 10 to 12 years.
Hmm.
And
I says 2 weeks he gets it. He gets the
2
pick.
weeks.
right?
It says 2 weeks we'll get them. Now them is plural, High.
Right.
How many are you going to get?
4?
Or did we just lose it in translation?
That's possible too.
Yes.
Possible. But yeah, mine are both 7. They'll be 8 this year.
Yeah, same age as mine. And Penny's already got cataracts and blind and has diabetes that we're giving shots twice a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a cat that's 16.
John, cats don't count.
Yeah, well, but I got a dog that's 14. I've got another older dog that we're not sure how old he is, but yeah, I got quite a few old ones.
Okay, he's only getting one into the
Okay.
first week of June.
See, I told you, lost in translation.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got a 4-year-old goldfish. Does that count?
That's pretty old. Yeah.
Fish.
Yeah.
I had a
Well,
20-year-old
I talked to them yesterday. They're doing fine.
Well, I just got my fish tank back up this year. We just have freshwater fish, mostly tetras, platies, and mollies. But I do have 2 electric blue crayfish in there too. It's a 55-gallon, and they're my bottom feeders.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have chickens. So,
Oh,
and
boy.
I've got 2 baby chicks that will turn 3 weeks old on Monday.
Baby goats are cute.
Yes.
Or otters. Otters are pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my neighbors have goats. I just got chickens.
Problem with baby goats or kittens, they grow up
Yeah.
and then they're not so cute anymore.
Mm-hmm. That is
Unless
true.
they're pygmy. I've had pygmy goats.
Hey,
Those
Randall.
things
Hey,
are-
Randall. Randall Ellison has joined us.
Very good. So
All right.
I want to thank Steve for coming over last weekend. We got a lot of things done, and we even
We got his
DCC.
DCC hooked up.
Yes, but now he sees what I was talking about. There's an inline fuse that only allows 6 amps to go to the track from either one of the pickups. It may be a larger controller. 5 amps. I'm sorry, 5 amps. 5 amps. I wasn't speaking right. I'm sorry. I didn't
Well,
get much sleep last night with the
He
power
didn't have
off.
the cord, so I made up. He went and bought a inline fuse, and then I've wired it in, and we made him a cable. So we got
Yes.
him up and running. Although he did not have the right cable to hook up his PR4
To
or
my
his
computer.
UR90. Did we get your UR92 hooked up?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
No. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's hooked in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and then his Digitrax hammerhead thing, we couldn't get to work, so we went back to the old reliable DT 500D throttle and got it all up and running.
Yeah, and I've always had trouble with that newer controller. You got to turn it on at the right time because it doesn't always get the signal from the what is that, 92? Doesn't always get the signal from that. I had trouble with it in Florida too, that I had to have it on before I turned the DCC on, or it didn't connect, and I don't know.
I think I'll just stick with my NC.
I'll stick to my Digitrax.
Yeah.
I just don't wait. I won't use his hammerhead thing, or
Yeah.
I'll read the manual and figure out how to make it work.
I think it was the fact that it had to be turned on before the system was turned on for it to connect. I think that's what But I haven't run it in 2.5 years now, so it's been a little while.
Yes, Andy. Believe it or not, the United States still has some manufacturing capacity.
Yes.
Some.
Mm-hmm.
Some.
Yeah.
And Soundtrack's decoders are manufactured in the U.S. All their parts don't come from the U.S., but they are manufactured.
I think the problem there, Heath, was he didn't have a LocoNet cable.
Yeah, I didn't have any spare ones, but I will be making some up.
Yeah, he's got the cable and plugs to make some. He just has to do it.
I've got so many other things to do. Unfortunately, I can't just sit in here and do my trains every day. And now I got a bunch of trees down that I'm gonna have to start cutting up. So that's gonna get into my track time a bit also.
The manufacturing comment, Heath, was about the evergreen styrene, not the wireless.
Jason, I lost a bunch of trees last night and some straight line winds. So a new chainsaw is on my list now because the trees are bigger than my chainsaw will do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, John. Now I've already got a 24-inch chainsaw inspired, but I wanted something a little smaller to cut up like limbs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife got me a DeWalt 8-inch pole chainsaw and a 12-inch standard chainsaw, both battery powered.
Mm-hmm.
And I am highly impressed.
Highly.
I got a Ryobi battery chainsaw. It worked great.
Yeah. Well, I'm a gas guy. I've got my Echo chainsaw that's probably 15 years old, and it runs like the first day that I bought it. I buy all Echo stuff for outside maintenance.
I got an Echo leaf blower, gas powered leaf blower. Now my chainsaw is a Husqvarna.
I've used Echo for 40 years, so it's like that. Yeah.
My gas one, I gave it to my son. I think it was a Pool, I think.
Yeah, that one I'd throw away.
Cooling?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was yellow.
I don't know mine are. They came from some place called Hobo Freight, but they work. But then I don't cut trees down with them either.
Yeah, like you really need a chainsaw.
In the desert, you never know.
What now, Steve? He could use the chainsaw to cut up his layout.
Oh, absolutely! Yeah. I've seen.
Yeah.
Reciprocating saw is good enough.
Well, yeah.
The saw's all for that.
I kid you not. I have seen someone cut up a layout to take out of the house that they were moving out of with a chainsaw because they had no other type of saw.
Yeah.
Kyle, I think he's working. I think Mystic is working. Number 7.
I thought I was 7.
That's why this mess back here.
You're like 20. You're like 20 something.
Oh, gee, 20 something. I wish I was 20 something.
I don't even remember who John number 3, 4, 5, and 6 was.
I don't think they were ever assigned. There were just so many Johns. When Mystic asked what his number was, somebody just said 7. All right, and
Sparky was the one that was naming them all.
Oh, okay.
He numbered TSG John as number 1, and then Scootkill John as number 2, and then
JD's number 1.
No, he said TSG was number 1.
Huh.
Because that's his best friend, John.
Right.
So he gave them all numbers. I just don't remember Who is 3, 4, 5, and 6, but I do remember Mystic's number 7. I do remember that.
So I've got to ask Sparky what number I am then, correct? Okay, okay.
Oh, Mystic John
See,
can't be number 7.
John SRV is saying JD's number 1 too.
I remember, I solely remember when he was saying TSG John Abacola was number 1 because I was in that live stream. I remember that. Because TSG was in there too, and he said something to John Schuylkill, like, I can't give you number 1. TSG John is number 1. But he said, you'll be my number 2. That was like back in 2020, 2021, like late 2020, early 21. So,
Well, see, he and John SRV are both saying number 1 is JD. So I don't know. I always thought it was JD, but I never heard.
So what number is TSG?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think I shared with you the story about my stepdaughter, that she was dating a couple of different guys, and
I'm Steve number 1.
yeah, and
I'm just old. I'm older Steve, and Steve 87 PSAP is younger Steve. Everybody else came after us. So
I'll go ahead and clarify. I'm the one and only freak, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
there you go.
I even got a T-shirt that says so.
Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're at an hour and a little over an hour and 10, and I've got work to do around the house. I left my wife.
I got work to do. Yeah. Well, I've got one last thing, Steve. I have been working on a train car for Ray and Tammy, and I've got it all finished. It's one of my C&E gondolas.
Oh, nice.
C&EI gondola, and I put John on there. I'm gonna send it to Ray and Tammy. It's got metal wheels, Katie couplers. I made a real granite ballast load for it. The inside is all weathered and rusted. So I'm getting ready. In fact, after the live stream, I'm heading to one of the towns and mailing this off to them. I've been telling them for a month now I was going to send it to them, but I wanted to make sure I got everything finished on it. And this is one of those that, let's see, I renumbered, probably can't read it.
No, it's not.
Whoop, wrong end. There. This is 82-0, what is it? 95. Because all these came in, 90% of them were 82-005. And then there was some that were 82-009. So now all my gondolas have different numbers on it. And this was the one where I printed out black background boxes with white letters, since you can't print white on our regular inkjet printers. And I'm changing all the numbers. And, from a distance, when they're going by, you can't even tell that I put that full tab on it. But, they're cheap cars, so I didn't want to spend enough money to buy all the white numbered decal sheets.
But Ray will love it.
Ray should like it. And, he runs his full steam ahead all the time, so you won't be able to read the number as it goes by anyway.
All righty. So, anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us here at the Retirement Railroad 2.0 Friday Live and Mail Call. I want to thank all the guests that joined us today, the full house. We had a lot of fun, and hopefully it was enjoyable for everybody. And y'all have a great day. Bye now.
Goodbye, all.
Bye.